Ho ho, and welcome to Weekly Tips. We're joined by me, Daniel, and we are going to be painting a snowman. So do you want to build a snowman? Hopefully you do. As I start out rolling on into painting a snowman, I first create these spherical shapes to represent the bottom part of the snowman, or in the top part of the snowman here, along with its carrot, its scarf, and its eye holes, because that's what they look like. They look like little eye holes. And then I go into creating this like beanie. You can give it a beanie if you like, but the Santa hat he's got going on, he's usually a Santa hat. The snowman here was an image I found on pixabay.com, so feel free to go check that website out. But they're a great website for finding a lot of reference. But as I move on into this, you can see me kind of slowly building on the major shape I had built. So make sure you make that shape right. I was trying to figure out that shape. Having those spheres to start off with was really helpful. However, looking at the snowman a little bit more, it needed a little bit more like development in the shape of his body form there. He needed a little bit more wideness to him. It's not perfectly sphere, his bottom half. Same with his top half. It's kind of a fat sphere, It's a fat sphere, it's fat snowman. No offense, snowman, hopefully his feelings aren't hurt. Obviously not, he's still smiling there with all those beady little teeth there. And it's great to see different snowmen out there. Here in New Zealand we don't really create many snowmen at all, so we don't have a lot of snow. Down south we do have some snow here and there, but it's not common to see a lot of like real per se snowmen. We do have a lot of snowman imagery out there, and the signs, and snowman, frosty figurines, and frosty laid in your backyard or something like that. But we do have a bit of that, but it is a lot more overseas, American, all that sort of a lot more frosty over there than there is over here, because it's less snow over here, especially in summer. Summer it gets really hot here. We don't have a lot of snow, but anywho, as I delve into building up these shapes, you can see me just tweaking the less details, the buttons that I got on there, slowly tweaking its shape of its body as well. And that's more important than those little shapes as well. Trying to having those little parts can be really helpful, because it can you can have like relationships between them. How far from the edge of the snowman there is it to the the middle buttons, and that's an important information to have. That way you can fix up those details. I was kind of struggling here with trying to figure out all of that stuff. I thought I'd have those shapes done and it'd be all sweet, fine and dandy. But it was a little bit more struggle to it. I was like, oh, it's not looking anything like that image there, and it needed more tweaks to come into change. But keep going forward. I mean, I only get 90 minutes to do these, but I figure out enough details. mean, I don't go for 100% accuracy. I like to have a little bit of difference to it, and feel free, you know, to change up your snowman if you like as well. But here I had fun creating, you know, this snowman here, and you can see how I created it. I start with those simple shapes, add on top of that with the other parts that are on, because this is, you know, it's a quite simple character. There's not a lot going on for him per se, but there are quite a few other elements on top of it, you know, that you can get wrong. You know, you can get the eyes wrong in the wrong place, you can get the lengths of, you know, where things fit, like the length of his hat compared to, you know, his body, length of his head. There's things that can go wrong, so just, you know, taking note of these things. It might take you a few more drawings, because I think I needed like 1 or 2 kind of overall drawings of this. You know, once I had that kind of overall shape done, you know, I haven't really attempted again to redraw it. I kind of just worked with what I got. I got the overall shape right though, so that's what's important. It's not 100% accurate, but I can see some of the kind of the faults in mine compared to the actual image. Mostly, you know, where the eyes are, the size of the eyes, where kind of the hat actually lays, but that's okay. I wasn't, like I said, I'm not 100% wanting, you know, accuracy. I just wanting kind of something, you know, a snowman that looks interesting as well. You know, I kind of enjoyed having kind of my take on it, because you know, I wanted a little bit more fluffiness to it in the snow compared to the actual image, because the actual image, it looks like it's got kind of, you know, a little bit use of kind of gradients to it, which can work and it can be really good and it looks alright in this image, but it's just, you know, not my cup of tea per se. So I decided to try and, you know, do something a little bit more fluffiness to the snow. And you can, you know, you can really render the snow as, you can even render it as glass if you wanted to, really. A glass snowman, that could be very interesting. Like, you know, maybe he is made of a glass and he's like a snow globe, like a snowman snow globe, you know, that would be cool to see. But yeah, you know, all these little details aren't as important as, you know, the big overall image, trying to get that, you know, that shape right in the initial start. But here you can see me rendering it now. You can see all the colors and how I've worked the different shades, how I've worked that out. Changing the eyes as I move forward as well. It's like, oh, I don't like those eyes, they're not working out. Change them again. Being open to change, you know, you've gone so far in the drawing and creating it and painting it. Being open just to change it whenever and wherever you can, you know. Being like, completely restart the head, you know, if you have to. Those kind of things can, you know, help you in the end in creating. Here you can see, you know, like, oh, the head looks maybe a little bit too big of mine. I'll like size it down a little bit and be like, okay, is that working now? And I feel like that's about right. I feel like that's made it a little bit closer, basically. It's still maybe the stomach's a little bit off here, I feel, in some proportions. Looking at it now, I can see, you know, some of the mistakes. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of time just to step back and actually realize what's going on, what you know, aspects and kind of like I said, relationships again between, you know, different things, like its arms, all those, you know, different arms. These guys obviously have put in mittens on the snowman, and obviously don't want their mittens back, so to be really cold and soggy from being on the snowman. You know, some snowmen have like 20 arms, you know, and some snowmen have 3 bits to them. They have a head, a torso, and a bottom part, and this guy just has the 2 parts. So a little bit more simple. I thought it'd be fun, a Christmassy kind of themed image that you all enjoy. Again, doing a little changes here and there, final touches to try and salvage the image per se, you know. You know, did the best I can, rendering that scarf. I think was the most interesting part. I would like to kind of make it out of something that would be interesting to texturalize that scarf as well. You know, make it look like it's made out of wool. That would be cool. Adding some textures to this image, I think, would you know, make it pop a little bit per se, and that's yeah, what it's doing. It's not a simple kind of, I think the image that I found is possibly like a vector image created that way, yeah, versus like a painted version, could be, as far as I know. But yeah, you know, yeah. Thanks for joining me. It's been great. Hopefully you all have a wonderful snowing Christmas, and keep drawing, everyone, keep creating, and see you in the next video.